Jade Goody's sons were her world. In her all-too-short 27 years, the Big Brother star achieved so much, transforming her fortunes and making millions through her fame. But it was sons Bobby, now 19, and Freddie, 18, of whom she was the most proud. And so despite facing her own death, it was the boys who her thoughts first went to. Jade fought valiantly, undergoing painful procedure after painful procedure in a bid to stay alive for her sons. But on Valentine's Day 2009, her world collapsed when doctors told the cancer had spread to her liver, bowel and groin and was now terminal. Given just months to live, she was admitted to a hospice after the drugs made her hallucinate but was allowed to return to her house in Essex, where her dining room was fitted with a hospital bed. Determined to keep living life to the fullest, on February 22 she married her 19-year-old boyfriend Jack Tweed at Downhall Country House Hotel in Harfield Heath, Essex, in front of 200 guests including Richard Madeley, Paul O'Grady and Judy Finnegan. Despite her rapidly failing health, she astounded everyone by not only finding the strength to walk down the aisle but also to dance on the tables. Her grandfather John Craddock told the Daily Mirror, "You should have seen her dancing with all those dolly birds. She was jumping up and down dancing like a jive bunny. It was brilliant. She had a wild time." But while the day left her drained and exhausted, for Jade it helped her find peace with the tragedy that was to come. "I've had the happiest day of my life. Now I'm ready to go to heaven," she told OK! magazine. After undergoing another operation to remove a bowel blockage, she went home and began slipping in and out of consciousness. Husband Jack slept on the floor next to her hospital bed, and recalled how Jade would wake up singing or thinking she was nursing a baby in her arms. "She'd tell me to be quiet so I didn't wake the baby. I used to go along with it and pretend to take the baby and call Jackie E. Budden, Goody's mother, in and pretend to give the baby to her," he told OK! He then asked Jade whether she was okay and she'd say, "Yes, that's fine, now I can sleep." Worried that she'd no longer recognize him and her sons, Jack would show her pictures and get her to say who each person was. But despite her exhaustion, she never lost her sass. She said, "You, Bobby, Freddie, me. I'm not a effing idiot, Jack," he revealed to OK! So she was still having a go at me right until the end, but that made me happy, because that was Jade being Jade. As the cancer cruelly marched on, she lost her sight in one eye and became unable to eat and eventually speak. Her last words were about pineapples, the only food she was still able to stomach. But with just 48 hours to live, she astounded doctors by doing something they thought was impossible. Drifting in and out of consciousness, when she heard her son Bobby, then 5, crying in his sleep, she defied the doctors by using the last of her last strength to get out of bed, climb the stairs and put Bobby on her back. She wasn't eating and the doctor said her health was deteriorating rapidly. But that night Jade got up, walked upstairs and pulled Bobby up onto her back and brought him to her hospital bed, her close friend Kevin Adams told The Sun. "The next day I told the doctor what had happened and she said, 'No, Jade doesn't have the strength to do that because everything in her body is failing.' I told her that I saw it with my own eyes. She was able to do it because those kids meant everything to her. That memory will live with me forever, it is so special to me." And on the night doctors warned would be her last, Jack stayed in the front room, unable to watch his wife slip away. "It's horrible to watch someone you love struggling when there's nothing you can do to help," he said. "I kept going in to kiss her and check that she was breathing. But I knew it was going to happen that night. I just couldn't stay in the room. I wasn't asleep. I was just lying there waiting. I heard her mom, Jackie, crying and I knew. I walked into the room, stroked her face, kissed her and broke down." Jade was just 27 when she died on March 22, 2009, Mother's Day, 14 years ago today. But before she went, she made sure her sons would know where to find her if they needed her. "I'm not sure they know what dying means, and in a way I don't want them to know the full ins and outs," she told OK! Magazine at the March 14 baptism ceremony for herself and Bobby, then 5, and Freddie, 4. "I will be the brightest star in the sky for them, always looking over them and protecting them," she added.